Kenneth Bird. My company is IOEG Technology Screens. We are doing a demonstration on why you don't have to spend a lot of money for a high performance projector. Now what most people do, if not all, they paint walls. Oops, I didn't want to go in there. They paint walls and other stuff with their coating, but some people just go out and buy a cheap, that's just fantastic, sorry about that, cheap white projection screen and coat it with our technology. Now we've done dozens and dozens of motorized screens, manual screens, tabby screens, you name them. Use fire stick, extension cord, but I don't know what I'm going to need it for. I shouldn't say occupied it on me. I should say, but let me make it. It's much better. Oh, that one says the same thing too. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. All right, so put this thing in. Oh, we didn't even send the cord, so then I did bring it. And because our projector doesn't have any form of HDMI ports at all, period, because these are the cheaper ones, 600 by 800, 720p projectors have no type of HDMI port at all, period. This is a very older model. This is a Epson Powerlight S6 projector. So we use this. It's a projector I got on eBay for around $16.25. That's it. So I didn't have to spend money for anything extra, nothing special, because the screen paint does all the work. All right. So we're just going to use our adapter here. I like these adapters. I always use these in any form of demonstrations. These are always stuck to this particular brand because it works fine. There's actually another one that works with for video games. I got to remember which one that was. And of course, my stand is going to have a bit of a fit here. I don't know why. All right, so plug this in here. I have people ask us questions about these adapters we use all the time. I like this particular model because the other ones actually require a power source, which they require you to plug it in like something like a cell phone battery pack, like one I have over there, or plug. But these don't require it. Since you put it in VGA, you're going to basically run your sound through here and HDMI through there. So we're going to run our fire stick through here. I use these also for ceiling displays also. And that doesn't have a USB on the back of it, so we can't self-power it. Now you can plug in your system, your Amazon, but I don't plug it in because I got other units on it that I plug this thing into anyway, so I don't have no idea what I did with our whatchamacallit power supply. Okay, that's up and going. This is my power supply unit. So when I take with me all over Allentown, this thing's absolutely fantastic. It's the best investment I could have ever made. Runs everything I need. Okay, put you down here on the floor because it gets quite noisy. I'll projector up right there. Plug my cell phone in because I need juice. Okay, let's see, speakers, and, oh please, we did pick that up. I know I did. We always leave something upstairs. It's weird. I gotta have you doing that. Oh wait, it's right here. This is the first time in history I didn't leave something somewhere. This takes a different type of power cord. Oh, There you go. That's it. Same thing that plugs into your PlayStation. Same thing that plugs in this projector. Some projectors don't take the high-powered 3-prong cords. They don't require. Let me bring my chair out too, because I want to be able to walk around this thing or sit down. That would be nice. So this is affordable. You don't have to worry about spending the money for 4K. Families that are going to be setting up a nice movie theater setup in your home, or if you're setting something up for your business, you don't have to break the bank by being forced to buy 4K or 1080p projectors, because it's not required. Not with our product, it's not. Now, for some people saying, I've been informed sites and say, well, why do other screens require you to have 4K and 1080p? Because their screens fail, that's why. They have poor resolution, which requires them to have much higher resolution projectors to fix the problem. They'll direct you to projectors that have inky contrast levels, which will enhance your contrast levels. And then you'll be told to calibrate, which I see on the forum sites all the time, telling you to calibrate because the colors don't come out correctly. They said that's a must, you have to do that. We have never done that at all, period. This is the screen that's coated down. We've done dozens and dozens of videos showing that our technology does not crack or peel, even freezing the screen into a block of ice, which no one's done yet. Right, can't forget the block of ice. No one's done that one yet. Now you see no cracks or peels, nothing. This is manual. We pull this thing up and down, up and down, up and down. No problem. That's the gamer paint that's attached to it right now. Now, somebody once said if you paint your screen most of the times it cracks and peels. I had a screen one time I painted over 16 times. No crack or peel. It takes a bit to do it. That's the logo popping up. We don't have lens shift on this one, so we have to size it up in there. So I have to bring it back some. Why is this? Yeah, I think I had something, all right. Here we are. Super bright like Christmas tree lights. So, this shows my customers and people I do business with that instead of being forced and told that you have to have a 4K, that you have to spend money for 1080p projectors, that you have to calibrate and be forced in dark environments, our customers don't go through that. Now, I'm curious. It's a tradition. I always forget something. I think I held close to tradition. We forgot remote controls. Or did we? Always forget something. Like in every video you watch me say something, I'm like, oh crap, we forgot something. So I gotta take a travel upstairs and get my remote control, because we did forget something. We always do. Okay. Keeping to traditions. Always forgetting something. But anyway, we had people ask about the Fire Stick. Can you use the adapters for them? Yeah, you can. They'll pick up the signal. So right here, this is where you're going to have your HDMI, and this is for your sound. Just get sound plugged into our battery pack unit on the floor. Okay, going. Now, pretty soon we're going to be setting up a new type of screen. This involves the AdTech technology. And this will allow us to be able to design a theater system for kids. It'll run off any projector. And I mean literally any projector, even knockoffs, no problem. The reason why we needed to run off the knockoff projectors is because those particular projectors are cheap for the kids. If they bust them up, it's not going to be a big deal at the end of the day. They don't overheat. They have a lot. They don't give a lot of heat pushes off those things, and not a lot. And this is nice for first projector. Now we're going to have some projectors we're going to test out. I will basically be in contact with the company, so that way I can go in and buy bulks of them with my business tax wholesale license, and I can get a bunch of those in. We can start having a bundle because we're making bundles for them. This is a fantastic screen for kids. It is. I get these already wholesale. It's a 40 inch. Well, it was 40 inches because we don't require the black border anymore. It's much larger than that. It's 48 because we can take 2 inches off the border now. Let's go over to, let me see, YouTube over here. Now, with this product, you're going to receive a 100% contrast level. None of that fake stuff, none of that forcing you into dark environments and all that nonsense, or spending money for expensive projectors. These are the new ones. I haven't seen these ones yet. They had new episodes that popped up. I just finally found them under another company. Let's go with 4K demonstrations, YouTube. If she'll listen to me there. I don't think she is going to listen to me. Hopefully she does. No, we're not trying to leave all the way out. I think my batteries are about to die. Try her again. Yeah, I think batteries are dying. 4K demonstration, OLED. All right, there's this. Was she typing it or what? What is she doing? Okay, let's try her again. Make sure my fire stick is running on AC. The DC up, that's why. It's gotta be on AC. There we go. All right. I gotta get batteries. These batteries are definitely dead. She should be a little bit more sharp and on point on that. And it's not Wi-Fi because server's right next to us. So that ain't it. Server room is actually right over there. Okay, this is new. Never had this issue before. Let's see what's going on here. We have a problem with our cable here. Power unit's powered up. Everything's plugged in. Let's see what's going on here. We use this thing all the time. We never have any issues like this. Okay. $4K demonstrations. I'm going to build me a fire stick. You can build them. They're not hard to build. You can actually build your own fire stick. I'm going to build a media center portable because, man, these things get a little more and more buggy every year. Alexis, 4K demonstrations. Yeah, we just pressed that already. That's literally what we pressed. Pressing to get the video. She's not functioning. Okay. Let's go override. She's not paying attention at all. I'm going to build my own. Let me show you how to build your own customized fire stick. You don't have to be dealing with these things anymore. These things drive me nuts. That's why I gave it to Taco. My cat has it. But they work well when you first get them, but after a while they start having issues. I might have to go into a firmware on here and adjust it for her because she is just not doing her job. There we go. I'm gonna have to go into firmware. Pretty easy to do. Go into option button. You'll see how it's right there. You can go and manipulate all that stuff in there. I think she needs an overhaul, which I'm about to do. All right. Ooh, this pizza. Ooh, I think I'm gonna go near pizza. I got her for pizza today right now. Yep, not now. Thank you. Ah, pizza. This is made the old-fashioned way too. All fresh tomatoes, fresh onion, fresh garlic, real cheese. You ever had real Italian pizza? It's not like you can't eat anything else after that. That processed stuff has nothing on it. But anyway, as you can see, technology is ultra black. Picks up amazing white levels, and every time you see black on here, it is 100%. There's no fake. On top of that, this is extremely affordable for my customers, especially if you want to do something for your family. Put in something in a family room or convert one of your rooms you're not using into a family room. Cheap white projection screen you can pick up on eBay. We get them for like around $60. And then the projector, $20. That's it. Adapter we have right here, I paid $7 for the adapter. You want to convert it. And there's another one I have for gaming, which is actually pretty cool. If you want, there's one you can get one with an HDMI. HDMIs are cheap. And speakers. I got my sound bars for roughly about $130. Something fantastic. See, the problem with home theater is the fact that it costs a lot of money. That's what people think. They think it's so expensive. And then you spend $3,000 for a projector, and then, chances are you got to spend money for a really good screen. So, if you got your pockets are deep enough, that'll cost you about $3,000. So that's about $6,000 already in. You haven't bought a popcorn machine yet. So any little cost you add on to that, that's just going to jump your price. So, well, if you just buy TV, it's cheaper. Our technology allows you to have that. And keep in mind, you can take it outside too. These are my screen paint for you to paint the screen inside and outside. Now, for those of you that are dedicated theater rooms, love those big dedicated room setups, this technology can be painted to the ceiling. We have dozens of demonstrations of the technology painted to the ceiling, and you can have your lights on too. And run your screen at 150 inches without it fading, washing out, discoloration, and spend nothing for your projector. A good 1080p projector is all you need. You don't really need that, but if you're really going to go high tech, go 1080p. Spend a lot of money for it. Now, there's no calibrating. We don't do it ourselves, so you don't calibrate. And there's no expensive projectors, as you can see with my $16.25 projector. That fast, that easy. And I've done paint-on demonstrations with the product. We use something called Paint Dry Display. This is where you get a chance to watch the entire screen dry right in front of you. Gotta come out the pizza. It's making me hungry. I'm thinking about pizza right now. Pizza, pizza, pizza. Oh.
This holiday.
Ooh, that's 30. That's a whole entire movie in there somewhere, I think it is. That's better.
Hey, Manor. Play long time.
Now, I get it all the time from family members that contact me, brothers with the mother and father, they contact me, and they want a nice setup for the whole family. So you go buy yourself a cheap screen for roughly around $60-$70. Like I said, $20 roll around in your pocket right now, you can buy that projector right there. And with our technology at roughly, let's see, 120-inch screen, which is a very good sized screen, about 5 feet by 9 feet, this would cost you around $257. And you get an image that looks like that. See the water reflection? straighten it. Let's take a little walk. See, anywhere I stand, the screen's supposed to read. This is when I had the house, I had the screens in different directions, and everywhere I landed, that screen has to be able to pick up. Can't have any narrow viewing cone effects popping off. That will not work. This is what happened when I went to the carrying place. We painted one to the wall, and the owner came in and laid up against the wall because she thought the screen was going to go black. She couldn't see it. Yep, they'll do that to your screens. That's why you have to make sure they work. If they don't, that's going to be pretty embarrassing. When you convince someone to paint something to a wall, and they really didn't want to do it to begin with, but they allowed you to do it anyway. So it better work. Look at the reflection coming off the water. Now, this screen right here, this is a portable screen. It was all white when we got it, of course, because there's no such thing as an all black screen when you pay for it. And we went in and painted it with our coating. And converted a white screen into this. I like when I saw that 4K snow cottage.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now, this is more impressive. We like this part. The contrast is easy, colors easy for technology. What's more important is the fact that we can show that our screens can read an outstanding white level. Mind you, you know, those of you that just popped out of the room, you know what this represents, right? Just want to let you know, it's coming up quick. We got some people did some things they shouldn't have done. You all know the story behind it. Made some false accusations about this black technology coming up so dark that you can't see the screen. Now, question, was that our paint really in that container, or was it yours? It was yours. But don't worry about it. You see this setting we have right here? That's why I like this setting. This is exactly what it looks like. I hope you're not wrong. Anyway, moving on to our customers. Usually we have people that are that threatened by our products that they're willing to break the law. That's how threatened they are of our products. That's how much they fear our technology. Imagine that. Someone willing to break the law because they're jealous over someone's product. Isn't that interesting? But that shows you how amazing it is. So I have, when I have people come in to check it out, we've set this whole setup just like this. And they can come in, see the screen, see the technology with no problem whatsoever. A minute, I gotta get a door real quick. Cleaning crews coming through, and I don't want to record anybody without consent. You know, they're very nice. I'm actually going to be hooking them up with a screen, 100-inch big screen for them. I'm going to do it on wallpaper for them. So this December coming up, I'm doing one for the owner, and I'm doing one for them. So they were going to buy a TV, but now with this technology, they don't need to. And of course, we can supply them with the projector because these projectors we get are cheap and very affordable. I did this demonstration yesterday. Man, I tell you, white levels are absolutely gorgeous on this technology. But yeah, I'm going to be setting them up with a screen. And he's a gamer too. He likes to games all too on top of that. So that'd be cool for them to be able to do some gaming, watch movies, sports, stuff like that. I got to contact that company that's wallpaper surface. But as you can see, look at the white levels. Absolutely incredible. That's what it's designed to do. This is why when we show off the demonstrations on our technology, we like to show off those white levels a lot. Where, again, gray screens, we don't see enough contrast levels and the lights are never on. So that's a huge red flag, a major red flag. Anytime you see any screen claiming to do contrast level, especially gray or white, but mostly gray, because they promise you the upgrade, and they turn those lights out, that's a red flag right there. Because that means that they have to turn the lights out to get the screen to work, That's where you're going to be at, in the dark. Trying to figure out where your cat and coffee table's at. Yeah, let's see where one place again. Let's see, let's do come out of this one. Go back here, we'll be in bean territory. That's taco territory in there. Taco much is nothing but bean. Oh, that's all he likes is Mr. Bean. That's his thing. Since you listen. Alexis, 4K OLED demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
Should we get this in when she wants to? Let's see. Did that one already. Tell me that guy didn't look like Chevy Chase from National Lampoon Christmas.
This video presentation is mastered in
Now,
2000
as for gray
minutes.
screens, you can't get people, you can't post them. Contrast, no. Color, no.
To deliver true to life
Ambient
content
rejection
with
technology, you
spectacular
don't even
detail.
have it. 2.0 gain, no, you gotta really stop saying that one right there. You do not have a 2.0 gain. Like I said, I tested Black Diamond. Black Diamond had a 1.4, and that thing is super bright, so you definitely don't have it. Are you good for outside? No, I would not dare paint my screen gray and take it outside. First of all, you can't see a contrast level. How the freak am I watching a contrast level outside? That's the other part I find quite backwards. If I can't pick up that black level like that, right? How is this going to help me any better outside? It's going to be far worse outside if I take it out there. Ceiling applications for a dedicated theater room setup or infinity ceilings? Absolutely not, because I have to turn the lights on in there, so that's not going to work. That means the minute I paint your screen to a ceiling, that means I can't turn the lights on anymore. Because if I do, my screen disappears. So no, not going to happen. Floor projection capability, no, absolutely not, because there's a lot of light hitting the floor. It's like all these lights right now making contact with the floor. You wouldn't operate in there at all. Commercial, no, heck no. Commercial has 10 times more lighting than the average home, so that definitely would not work at all. What about projector mapping applications? I've done this one before on camera. A gray screen can't read the black levels. It won't pick it up. So there's another problem right there you're going to have. And keep in mind, when you're doing a dome-like ceiling, a dome ceiling has to be mapped in. You can't project it in because your projector is going to come up square and the dome is circle. So this requires mapping technology in order to do this, and mapping technology does not read on gray screens. Are you good for churches? No. No. Definitely not. Remind you, text in the Bible is black. It's in black and red, but majority is in black. And if you have to be able to pick up this high resolution black at 100% in order to see it crystal clear and add more detail and depth to it so people can see the screen, this is virtually impossible if you're using a gray screen. You don't work. Now you can say ultra short throws. No, you don't work on ultra short throws. You don't work on long throws or picos or venue projectors. You don't even work on 4K or 1080p projectors. So, no. I'm pretty sure we've got plenty of people that argue that. Well, you know how we feel about that at the end of the day. See us in court. That's all you got to do.
60 frames
We don't have
per
time to do the
second
back and forth
calibration
YouTube thing. We'll take it in front of a judge.
where every frame is crafted.
And then that
Push the
way,
boundaries
you'll
of
lose your
display's
case.
potential.
I have it on court documents, on public records, and everybody can read about your fiasco and what happened in the courtroom. That's it. Now, you're arguing online because you still want to rip off your customers. You still want to lie to them and tell them your stuff actually works.
Harnessing the power
But in the
of
courtroom, it's
Vision's
completely
dynamic
different.
lighting
Can't lie in
to
there.
deliver
You're under oath.
true-to-life contrast and spectacular
That's why we chose
detail.
to take it to court.
From the darkest
Other than
shadows
that, the
to
customer at the end of the day
darkest
is getting ripped off. I couldn't count the countless customers who have gray screens right now that are not functioning correctly with the projectors they paid money for. Now, big question when you talk about contrast. So if I buy a projector that has a 2 million watt contrast, and I have a projector that has roughly a 2,000 watt contrast, would that play it different on a gray screen? Of course it would, because the projector with the higher contrast would pick up a darker shade of gray, where the one with less would actually pick up a lesser shade of gray, which means you would have to spend more money in order to improve your picture quality. Well, our technology is automatically black, it just contrasts itself, and I can take a $20 projector and make it look like that. It costs you more money to have a gray screen. Look at the flames coming off that. Beautiful, isn't it?
The all-new Unstoppables Fresh gives your clothes
Okay,
24-hour
we do too.
non-stop freshness. Smell unstoppable.
Why do they always skip the intro? I noticed that when I watch the gray screen demonstrations, like the Skywarp demonstration, you know it comes on black first, right? And then it goes to the white levels. Why do y'all skip that solid black level? You never see it. I always see you guys showing the white level, but you never show that black level first, at the beginning of the intro. Why do you skip that? I'm talking to the people who make gray screens. Another thing too is, see the demonstration we have here? We have the heavy black levels. You always do this in the dark. Why? Especially if you have a screen that's supposed to be ambient like projection technology. Why is the screen in the dark? Well, that's because your screen can't pick up the contrast without being in the dark. Well, fake the contrast. You can't say you actually pick it up. So for the family, you're going to cost them a lot of money. That's what you're going to do. Because they're going to get your gray screen, they're going to set it up, and they're going to realize it really doesn't work in a fully lit environment. And the people who get hurt the most are the ones who have ultra short those, because they're expecting the whole entire setup to react like a TV. Can't get a projector to work, even if it's at less than a foot. They don't read black levels. We saw that in a demonstration on the Network Gray 773 versus a Cinemax. We actually watched the OLED emblem logo that pops up, and didn't pick up in black, it picked up in gray. And this was a person who talked a lot about a gray screen having the capabilities to see true black. I don't know how anyone would ever think that would be possible. Paint must come with a magic wand. It's the only one I can think of. So how are we reading that? So because our screen paints and screens don't require all that nonsense to begin with, that means it costs the consumer next to nothing to buy their projectors. 2:1 contrast on the P2 is an absolute waste. Not even needed. Can't be used on a gray or white screen. Epson LS800, waste of money. Can't be used on gray and white screens. Any projector you choose cannot be used on a gray and white screen. Now, for those of you sitting there saying, well, I see an image. If I were to take my technology and just write my initial into your screen, you will literally see how much your screen is missing. Which I've done. I wonder if she'll pick this up. Watch this. Alexis. Can't think of the name now. Oh. I still can't think of the name. What's the kind of thing? He'll call it natural something. Can't think of it. AK Desired Nature, that's what it is. AK Desired Nature. Oh yeah, this is definitely my nightmare. She's not going. She's had a problem picking this up. Definitely not picking it up. Let's see. Oh. So point of voice technology. You don't have to go through this, but I'm better off with a keyboard. Now, some of you are saying, why do you pick up 8K videos when you have a 720p projector? Because it looks amazing on our technology. Question for you. Why do you have a projector gray screen when you can't pick up a contrast level or proper balance or even read in fully lit environments? Why do you spend money on that? It's a fair question. I've had that question asked to me in a forum site one time. And I said, well, you spent all that money for a JVC projector. You can't see a contrast level with all that contrast you paid for, and your colors are thrown off. So,
Welcome to OLED Premium.
why'd you buy
If you're
that?
captivated by what you
Because you thought at the end of the day that projector was going to fix your problem. That's what you thought, and you realize later on it doesn't. That's why you had to calibrate the machine and stick it in a dark environment or ambient controlled environment because your screen couldn't pick up that black contrast. You know, like something like this.
Here he is now.
Hi, I'm just trying to make sense of all this data.
Just get satisfied.
You can't see that. See that black background? You can't read it. See those colors? You won't be able to pick it up. So you spent how much for a projector? So this is where things get funny when I'm going forum sites all the time. They'll say that I have a 720p and I can't pick it up, and I say you got a projector and you can't read contrast and color. And how much did you pay? Well, you spent $6,000 for your projector and you can't read a contrast level on a machine you paid $6,000 for. Nor can you pick up your colors correctly. My customers' demonstrations are so good they get mistaken for AI. No washout, that's why. See, people are used to looking at a screen, seeing that orangey, kind of washed out discoloration look to the screen, especially when they're outside or fully lit environments. And with ours, you don't see that at all, period. Our technology is so advanced, they're mistaking it for AI. As a matter of fact, in one of the demonstrations where I had some boxes over there, somebody thought that the white wall could do better than our products. Did you realize that screen was 100% black, right? So the fact that it could bring up a level so high that you think a white wall would be an easier choice on our black technology, yeah, that shows you how immaculate those white levels are. But keep in mind, a white wall, and we've done dozens of these demonstrations, can't read contrast and color. Neither is another ambient rejection technology. I like these demonstrations. These are the ones we do on crystal clear screens. Oh, shark. So the pinpoint of our technology, what we're going to be advertising it for when we get out there, when we're out there, is the fact that you don't have to set up for white screens. You don't have to get cheated on a gray screen that's going to promise you all these upgrades and can't do it. You're going to spend the money for expensive projectors, no calibrating, none of that nonsense, and receive a 100% contrast level, no matter what projector you choose, as long as it's name brand. We go to these forum sites and get people to disagree with us if they have higher form projectors. I just asked you to do one test for me. Turn all your lights on, show me a star field. Let's see if your screen can read it, because I watched a 2 million to 1 P2 fail on a logo for LG. It's on a blacklist, you can watch it yourself. So how in the world does a 2 million to 1 contrast projector fail to bring up a 100% black level on the OLED display? LG 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
That demonstration was done that's the demonstration was done on a P2 that failed miserably on that project. That's a shame. It's such a beautiful machine. Problem is, it's been shortchanged on a gray screen. Let me show you what it was supposed to look like. On our Epson $16.25 projector. Mind you, we're not even up on top of the screen like an projector, we're at a distance. Screen makes everything. Without your screen, your projector doesn't even work. Didn't pick that up. That came up in gray. That's black. Now I got people on forum sites will argue the fact that the P2 projector picking up a 2 million to 1 contrast will read a 100% black level. How many people are willing to walk in the court with that one? Because I guarantee if you stick it on a gray screen, you won't see jack. That's not going to work for you. Our black technology, you turn those options off. You really need the screen black, no purpose. So technically you paid for something you'll never use. We don't use it. What do we need it for? So there's no discoloration. As you can see, the green on the door is multiple colors, which P2 couldn't read on the gray screen. How vivid the colors are, white levels. Look at the color of her jacket or sweater. Everything is nice and bright. We'll have to do a recording of that and a recording of that video and put them side by side. And show that one off. Teddy bear in the corner, bright red, whatever that thing is. And it's black, of course, 100% because our technology can read it. So, technically, I don't care what projector you buy, how much money you spend for it, you can't read black. It's virtually impossible. Yeah, it's easy. Oh, this is a real dark contrast one here. Now, before someone takes this personally, which we have people take this a little too personally, I got some problems coming in tomorrow, I can tell you this much. We're talking about all gray screens. You don't speak for all gray screens, you don't. It's for all gray screens have this issue. It's not this particular model or that. If you're gray, you don't work. You can't read contrast. I've been to forum sites, I've asked this question dozens of times. Tell me and show me how you read a 100% black level on a screen that can't receive it. Now, if you're saying spend more money for a projector, then you're in the wrong direction because you're going to cost consumers more money. How do we do it with a projector of $20? With a 2,000 to 1 contrast, how do we do it? And a fully lit environment, how do we do it? Now, some will get angry and get upset and say things they should not say on camera by saying that, well, your screen comes up, my screen comes up, what? Unwatchable, is that what you're trying to say? Too dark, that's what you're trying to say? Be very careful, those are very, very, very serious lawsuits. You may want to keep that one to yourself. See, getting angry, getting emotional, and letting your emotions get the best of you, and saying things you cannot back up in a court of law can get you in trouble. I can back up 100%, but your gray screen cannot read contrast, can't read color, it doesn't work on any of the applications I just spoke of, and it costs consumers more money. Yep. That's why I said sign. See me in court. Let's see where we're going to go to next. Oh, definitely want to do this one right here. I love showing front screen's white capabilities and what levels to pick up. Look at that. Isn't that outstanding? And the background remains black at the same time. I've seen people try to do this one at them down a gray screen. The colors and everything wash out pretty badly, and they get that kind of tannish look around the black levels. They can't quite read it at all, period. This is an OLED demonstration. It's supposed to be meant to pick up those heavy contrast levels. So altogether, our technology costs our customers very, very reasonable price. And it has the technology to take out any high performance screen, which means it can basically beat any form of high grade certified screen because the screen's physically are black. I've never seen a certified screen attached to a ceiling with the lights on. Or floor. Look at the table reflection. Let's see, where is my LG Beta Fish? LG Beta Fish OLED. Where's they getting that from, or whatever? She just basically, oh, but I'm looking at these black levels right here. Is that the whole thing and all like that? Or we're going to get some crazy other levels in there.
Get up to 70% off store-wide at Michael's Black Friday sale. Score epic deals on trees, decor, floor.
What was that first one that came up? They're supposed to show up that promo page too on top of it. When it comes up, the intro, they never show up the intro. They block them. This would definitely be in the dark with any other screen. Yeah, I have seen this demonstration. I've seen just about every demonstration. This was done on a P2 in a dark environment. It literally was done in a dark environment. Gee, Louise, I swear. That is pathetic. And we definitely know this one was done in a dark environment. Yeah, I don't read this at all, period. Great screen can't pick this up. So consumers, at the end of the day, you see this right here on the OLED screen? See that OLED demonstration? People with gray and white screens missed the demonstration. They had no idea what it's about. Why you don't see black level. That's why you would not pick up on what the OLED was trying to explain in the video demonstration. You see the multiple shades of black that's triggering off right now? Look at the paddle for the saddle. Look for the actual saddle itself. Look at the her sleeve. Look at the horse itself, and then look at the black background. You'll see multiple shades of black triggering off, including the ultra black that's going off in the background. That's an OLED showing off its power in contrast. The gray and white screens tried to do this, and they blended into all the colors. There was no difference between one or the other. It was just all one shade. Thing is, how would you be able to read multiple shades if you can't read black itself? You guys are going to have a hard time in court. I'm taking some companies to court. This is not going to go well for you. I hope you're not on your pages making these statements because, again, like I said, this is major consumer fraud. Your customers, if this is what you're selling to them, that the product is basically pulling this black level and it doesn't, you got some money to return, a lot of it. So question, how are you able to read this if you're not reading 100% black? There's something wrong there. Jeez. And somebody do this in the dark, like, look, see? No, even in the dark, you can't even pick it up. No, you have to have a 100% black. Now look, right there. See the black background? See the color of the horse? Those are two different shades right there. They're not one shade. So when I watch people on forum sites trying to do this, they fail because they pick up one shade. How do you pick up multiple shades if your screen can't pick up black to begin with? How's it work? You're only lie but so much. Yeah, look at that right there. See her pants? See the boots? See the saddle? See the saddle padding? See the horse? I forgot what that thing is called. They have the ranger, they call it, pull the horse on. I can't think of the name. But anyway, they're all different shades of black if you look at it. So when y'all did your demonstration, it went whoop over your head because you thought that you just had to show some poor looking faded contrast level in a dark environment and that was passable. No, you missed the entire demonstration what Ola was trying to explain in their demonstrations about being able to pick up the multiple shades of black, including the most important part, the ultra black in the background. That's what makes it so impressive. And colors too on top of that, skin tone, all that. Even the horse's mane is a different shade of black. You missed it. Now, if you're making these claims that your screen does see an actual black level like this, then when the time comes when we bring you into court, we want you to explain to us how your screen does it in that courtroom. Mind your lights will not be going off. Same amount of lighting we have in here. You should be working just fine. If you have it, you fail at this, it means you got to pay back a lot of money. And you're going to get fined quite a lot. So all those consumers and people who bought your screen within the timeline of being to get their money back, or if they decide to sue you, you're just going to have to figure it out. Because you know darn well your screen doesn't pick up black. It's a gray. It's going to be a bit of a mess. You're going to take all your products now and they're going to be removed because you can't sell them because the information is not correct, and you're going to have to do it all over again, and this time you're going to have to show that it actually reads black or figure out exactly what shade of gray you're actually reading. This is why you test your stuff before you sell it. Can't express that one enough. Good beat on here. Now, people who make great products, white products, they're very, very frustrated by these videos. Widescreen, not so much, because the widescreen at the end of the day still has purpose because you can paint over it. This was a widescreen. We coated with our technology. It was cheap. It was a widescreen. Now, if I were to buy a gray screen, which I don't know why I would do this, but a gray screen would cost me more money because they consider the gray screen an upgrade next to the widescreen. Not much of a white upgrade, but they consider it an upgrade. Look at their skin tones. Isn't that amazing? Woo, man. Gave me some chills on that one. Where are you? Alexis, LG Beta Fish.
Getting that from YouTube.
There we go.
A Chewy pharmacy order is on
5,
the
I'll
way
take
for
that.
beta. Meds verified by Chewy's licensed pharmacist.
I've seen this one done in the dark too, also on gray and white screen. So for our customers, well, they don't have to calibrate. No expensive projectors. I sold it's got a projector for a customer. I paid $70 for my Chrissy LW5 400. No, sorry, 400. Yeah, we got into an eBay guy. So here's a nice one for $70. 720p. Yep. They didn't spend all that money. Not necessary. Not needed. And meanwhile, you people sell these gray screens, you're advising customers to spend all this money for a projector. You know darn well they will never be able to use it correctly. I'm just trying to figure out the fact, like, how do you talk about your screen being having amazing colors, and we just skip the whole contrast thing? So, you see that right there? That's why I need the LG to pop up. I'm going to show you this one. So the demonstration with Network Grade 773 versus a Cinemax, that logo popped up right there. And that logo was gray. With a projector that has a 2,000,000 to 1 contrast ratio attached to it. So it goes to prove at the end of the day that no matter what you spend for your projector, you spend $3,500 for that machine, probably $3,700 for that machine. It goes to show you that no matter how much money you spend on your projector and you really, really think that you're going to see a contrast level, you will never get an infinity level. You won't be able to pick it up. Right, read it. It's funny how I see how the projector has the rating for contrast, but the screen doesn't. How come a gray screen doesn't have a rating for its contrast levels? Ours does. Ours has infinity blacks. Infinity black technology. How come gray screens don't have it? You ever seen a gray screen with infinity black rating on the screen? Anybody? Anybody? Nobody, because they don't have it. That's why. They have to depend on the projector to fix the problem. And the problem is the projector can't fix the problem because when the projector produces that black level, the screen can't pick it up. I'm just curious. It's an interesting question. I think we need to bring that up to somebody when we go to court. How come the screen doesn't have an infinity rating on it? Because projectors have it. How come the screen doesn't have it? So all these gunmetal screens out here, these $7,000, $3,000, $5,000 screens, you don't have an infinity black rating? What's your contrast rating on your screen? Because if it has a reading on it like a 3,000 to 1, or it means you're not infinity. It means you don't pick up true black. True black doesn't have a rating on it. There's no rating on a true black screen. It's infinity. Interesting question, right? These are the questions I like to bring up in forum sites. Gets people's brains a ticking, clicking and a ticking. Clicking and a ticking. Yep.
Yet another toothpaste that does not whiten. Girl, this one works.
I think they need to put a rating system on screens now. So customers will know what the contrast level of the screen can pick up. Because if I'm going to spend $7,000 for a daylight screen that can't read a contrast level, so are they telling me that if I spend $7,000 for a screen and I spend $3,700 for a projector, I can read 100% contrast in a fully lit environment? Are we saying that? What are we saying? See, there you go. And this is why it ends up costing consumers a lot of money, because consumers get caught up in a bunch of this nonsense, and the next you know, they buy this whole expensive projector, thinking they're going to get this outstanding image. And first thing they start off with is a white screen. And when that fails, they're sitting in the dark because they notice that the color and contrast improves once they turn those lights off. That's pretty bad right there, especially when you're running ultra short throw. They try to find other solutions of trying to get their screens to operate in fully lit environments without losing any picture quality in the process. And this is where they bump into us, because we can do this. And this is why my projector only cost me $16.25. Everybody on YouTube right now, influencers, are basically showing on screens with these high-powered projectors, and you can't do what I'm doing right now. I paid $16.25 for my setup. And my projector is nowhere near in the category of class your projector is, but yet I can do this and you can't. Look at the white levels on that beta fish. Isn't it beautiful? See, that's the problem you have with the outside part of business. All these white projection screens everywhere. And each one of them, I've gone and checked out their establishment. Each one's on these high-powered, expensive projectors, because someone told them that, you spend enough money for a projector, the screen will work. The only problem is when I go into these environments, either they're dark and colors are washed out, colors not even there, and they accept it, because you know why? This is the way it is. That's what they believe. We're about to change all that. So that whole gravy train ride at the end of the day, that train's getting derailed. Because that means now you're going to have to work 10 times harder to make a buck. Because at the end of the day, we're going to show them that you don't have to be subjected to dark environments and other nonsense that these other companies will put you through, because, either they don't want to do the work, or either at the end of the day, they just want to ride the gravy train. And you just deal with it. Gorgeous.
Okay. Creators, let's talk Black Friday essentials. Beyond the perfect outfit, my number one.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let that play. I got one promo I'm doing, that's it. I had to do it for somebody's business. They want to do a manual pull down screen, and they really don't want to spend a lot of money for a projector. at all, period. That's usually what most people I bump into who have wallets. You know, they really don't want to spend that money. You know, they saved up $3,000 and they really don't want to spend it. And then when they talk to me, I'm the one that tells them that we're not spending that. You don't need to spend all that money. It's unnecessary. We can do it for far cheaper than that. Where everybody else is telling you, you might have spent a little more. Spend a little more. It's a shame. It's another shame. TCL 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Oh, she hears it. Here's that she does not. Also watch this demonstration also in the dark. You know who you are. You come on my channel. I see when you guys load in. You come on my channel. That's what you do. And you go on your channel and you cry. You don't. Some of you don't even have your businesses anymore. So I don't know what you're crying about. You failed at that. You couldn't do the business right. You keep ripping your customers off. You keep lying to them, and dark environments and high-end machines to try to manipulate and rip off your customers. Sooner or later, it's going to get out. Oh, look at the skin tone on that. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh. And then you're in these videos using these high-power, expensive machines. What gets me is that the only time they use a machine like mine is if they're trying to show something. But do you use your machine 24/7? Because all my machines cost me under $200. These are my main machines. These aren't machines I have on the side because I got to prove something. These are my main machines. When I had to do the interview for the advertising company, I took my Q2 projector at 300 lumens. That's all I needed. Because I can play with that thing outside if I want to. So you advise the customers to spend all this money, and in the end, when they're stuck in this dark environment, what are you telling them to do? Calibrate, 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 calibrate. Nobody wants to calibrate. I don't even calibrate. Oh, this is right here. I saw this one. This is one of the things I noticed when I watched in the scenery of a gray screen, that the multicolors they couldn't pick up. So there's different colors, content. You're not reading any of that. Forget that. None of this, you're not reading. Now, you see that right there? You see the different shades of green? There's dark, there's light, there's mid. Gray screen can't read the dark levels. So how are you going to pick that up? You have to have contrast to read that. Are we running 4K? No, actually, my projector specifications are 600 by 800 SVGA 720p. Again, SVGA projector doesn't have an HDMI port, and if you're curious to see my settings, I'll show you. So my projector here is running under eco mode. It's in eco mode right now. We never run our projectors past eco mode. We don't need to. Screens are super bright. Why would we have to go through all that to begin with? Let me show you what I always love showing my settings on my projector. It's the fun part right here. So right now our brightness is at 2. Color mode is at, no, I'm sorry, I got it wrong. Color mode is game. Brightness at 5. Contrast is at 2. Sharpness 4. Temperature medium. That's basically about it. We're under factory settings. Way under factory settings. We don't need to run it that much. Let's scroll down. Let's see where we're at for our. Here we go. This is my brightness on my projector. It's on low because we don't have to run it that high. It's not necessary. Not necessary at all. So on top of that, with our technology, you know, you expand your screen size on motorized projection screens and all that borderless technology and all that stuff. But you don't have to worry about burning out your lamps because it's not required because their screens are super bright. That's why. Come on, that's real quick. Kaboom. Somebody once said that our settings are super high. Careful. careful on that one. It's a very pricey lawsuit. Don't do that, okay? I warn you guys ahead of time so you know. Monday. Monday's an interesting day. Tomorrow's Monday. That's right, it is tomorrow. Okay, cool. We got some very important business. I can't discuss it, but I've already said enough yesterday. But we have some very important business that will be discussed on Monday. Boy, that color is absolutely gorgeous. Colorful colors pop. Now, our products don't involve any form of complicated instructions, because who wants to do all that nonsense? Up, down, over, forward, up, down. At one point I read someone's freaking specification sheet. It was just so freaking bananas. If I was actually putting in the infinity cheat code for NES for freaking Contra. But anyway, so one code application, you're done. That's basically about it. All the different types of services we coded, even down to bed sheets, we converted into high performance projection screens. We built just about everything you possibly think of. Anyway, so with that being said, is Ultra Short Throw compatible? Or have you ever seen Ultra Short Throw demonstrations? They're insane. Big giant screens, take them outside, all that crazy stuff. But anyway, so Ultra Short Throw compatible, of course. Technology is fully weatherproof because that's when we specialize in outdoor projection screens. Check out the other web page where we have the biggest grid for basically doing outside demonstrations. Technology requires no calibration, which we all love that in the day. Don't have to worry about your contrast level. So what? Your projector has a 1001 contrast. Who cares? You got an infinity one. Once you hit this screen, unlike anybody else. And let's see. Oh, for those in the art community, use projector mapping application. This stuff is a beast because we have technology for the projector mapping. We do it all the time. Other people may say they do it, but they technically don't do it. And also too for dedicated theater rooms. Well, again, these screens are designed to absorb light, so this screen's gonna look absolutely incredible. On top of that, people order gallons. Not only can they knock out an entire wall, but they can also do the ceiling too on top of that, and that's actually really beautiful. You can do the ceiling. Really easy to do. Short throw projector. I paid roughly, I think, $80 for my BenQ short throw for the ceiling, and a fire stick, and I was able to make the ceiling snow, lightning storms, asteroid meteor fields, the whole freaking 9 yards, and have the lights on at the same time. There we go. All right, so. For overseas customers, just to let you know, we have now, I don't know about everybody else, they might be charging a surcharge fee, but unlike us, at the end of the day, we don't charge you anything at all for any shipping. We don't do that. 32 ounces we have available. They paint a screen size up to a whopping 150-inch screen, and then we have the 24 that paints up to a screen of 120 inches. Also 119-inch 235.1. I got two of them in the office. I love that thing, whole setup. Okay, so with that being said, we have that with free shipping, free express shipping. And for those who want to know if the express shipping does carry over to the US for the 32 and 24 ounces, it does. All right, so with that being said, hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology. Oh, next week we got 4 screen paints coming out, so it's something insane we're working on, but we can't tell you about it. But anyway, so hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your time. I have to go, and God bless.